Hi there. So I'm back in my garden. It's been a while. It's just been pretty busy time. So today I thought I'd get out here and I think we're gonna plant some hosta. I have two different kinds of hosta that I got the other day, I think on sale. Yeah, I got them 50% off. And I've got two different kinds. Let's see. I don't remember what I got. Hosta before Christmas. That's what it looks like. I've got 3 of those. And then I got Hosta Queen Josephine, maybe? Yeah. Queen Josephine. That's what it looks like. And again, these are 2 hosta that I don't have yet in my garden. And so I thought I would kind of read the specs on them, see how big and tall they get, and we'll find a spot. So this one says 6 to 10 inches, which is not that big at all. So we could tuck this in a nice little spot, the Queen Josephine. And then let's look at this Christmas one. 18 to 28 inches, so that one gets a little bit bigger. So maybe we'll look for a bigger spot to put these in. So I'm just gonna kind of walk around and see what we got. So what did it say? 6 inches. I've got, oh, there's poison ivy right there. I've got this spot right down here that I've had heuchera in here through the years, and it is too shady and wet for it right here. So this would be a really great spot to put a clump of hosta. I do have some penstemon that I found over there in my dump bed that kind of volunteered, and I threw that in here. So I have little clumps of that in here too, which I think will continue to grow in here. They were just little tiny like starts when I put them in here. So I feel like we could put some hosta in there. Maybe the Christmas ones. We could go like 1, 2, 3. So that's an idea. Could do the Christmas hosta there. Let's see. Although, you know what? I'm gonna flip you around. Right in here I had 3 blueberry muffins, but the rabbits completely ate that one off. But they started out really small because I started with 1 plant and I split the plant. So anyway, these get pretty big and I've been wanting to move them anyway. So I think I might dig up these blueberry muffins and put them in that spot because I think that blue would look good right there. And then maybe we could put the smaller Queen Josephines in here because they're variegated. So let's do that. Now we gotta find a spot for the before Christmas. These ones right here are called Christmas Pageant. Let's see here. There's some space in here, but I just put those Diana Remembered in last fall, so they will take a little time to fill that area in. So they're variegated. So I've got a little hosta right there. This is a wee hosta that I just planted this spring, and so looks like it's been eaten by the bunnies. But that will take a little time to grow up. Oh, lovely. Look at that. My foot is touching poison ivy. I will be right back. I'm gonna go wash my foot. I'm back. I need to get a bag and pull that poison ivy along with the poison ivy that's down there. But I was thinking, I have bleeding hearts in here and they always die back this time of year. So I was thinking it might be cool to put some hosta in here. That way when my bleeding hearts are done, the hosta will kind of take over. But I was saying that wee hosta, I split it, so that's why it's so small, and transplanted it, and it's gotten eaten by the bunnies, so it's kind of under distress right now. The only thing about this area is I gotta be really careful. Okay, yeah, so like there's my bleeding heart right there. So I have to be careful not to dig too close to that. So it's 1, 2, and 3. So I could put my before Christmas hosta like right in here. I think I'm gonna do that. Grab that poison ivy. And then I'm gonna go down and grab the other big one. The garden is starting to turn. I have to get out here and give you guys a hosta tour. We've just been busy. That's what I'm gonna pull right there. That poison ivy. And there's another baby one right there I'm gonna get. Like a breeding ground for poison ivy right here. So there's a tiny little one right there. And it's right next to that plant. There's a bigger one. Make sure there's no more in here before I leave. I do see some Virginia creeper down there. That's fine. I think we're good. Our hanging basket has just been through the ringer. It's about done, I think, because it just keeps falling over and getting broken. But it was only like $5, so. Okay, let's see here. So I've got bleeding heart right here. So I'm free to dig kind of like around it. Maybe we'll do like a plant here, hosta there, here, and here. That should work. Oh, it feels good to get my shovel in the ground again. Alright, which ones are we putting here? I think the Christmas ones. Before Christmas. And at least we'll get them in the ground, and if they do good here, great. If they don't, I can move them next year. Get some water on them. So what I'll do, when they only give you that kind of a tag, like a sticker tag, I usually will just cut this out and stick it in the ground. That way I can remember. It's really cooled off here the last few days. I think fall is coming. There's no way around it. I know some of y'all that live in the south are excited for fall. I get it. Probably would be too if I lived in those really hot weather lands. So I could pull some weeds while I'm here. Okay, one more. Yeah, I got these plants for $2.75 each. Pretty good. I'll have to come back here and get some water in the hole. Here you go, buddy. Okay, so I am gonna keep this, and like I said, I'm gonna cut that out and save the tag so I don't remember what they are. There we go. That looks pretty good. Let's go move those blueberry muffins. When I put these here, I knew they were going to be too big, and I kind of just put them here because I thought they looked really pretty, that blue color with that August, or no, that's not August moon, coast to coast hosta. And they do, but then I realized how big they got, and I was like, oh, that's not going to work eventually. So I think it will be good if we move them. Well, it's pretty rooted in. I think I honestly just transplanted these. I just split them up. I had one plant, I split it into 3. This spring I think I did. Was that this spring? I can't remember. And they were beautiful until the rabbit got a hold of them. Kind of this whole story of the whole garden this year. I'm gonna move this down here. But I really love the shape of the leaf on it. It's really cool. Ooh, that one is nice and rooted in. Got some good roots on that. But this is a really great time anyway to split hosta if you want to split it, because the weather has gotten a little bit cooler. I do it in the middle of the summer anyway. It's never stopped me. As long as you give it enough water, then you should be fine. And I live in a cooler zone, like zone 4 or 5, so I can get away with it. I'm just gonna leave that hole open because we're gonna put the Queen Josephine in there. But yeah, this is a great time if you're like, man, I think I want more of that one hosta that I have in my yard. Get your shovel out and stab a hole right through in the middle of it and split it into 2 or 3 or 4, whatever you want to do. This one's gonna be just the roots because the rabbit ate it clean off. Clean off. Naughty rabbit. It's got some good roots on it though. I mean, look at the roots on that guy. So he'll be just fine next year. It's gonna look kind of weird at first because these hosta are not the greatest looking, but that's what happens when you do have to wait. If you split, when I bought this hosta, it was actually I could split it in again. I could split that one. I'm not gonna. It was just a little 4-inch container, and I split it into 3. So, you know, you're not gonna have a really big, beautiful hosta the first few years when you're doing stuff like that. But I don't really care. I think it's fun. Okay, let's get this one right here. Yeah, it's so wet in here. This is really nice soil. It's just so wet. We did just have some rain too. Look at that one right there. The one with the nice roots and no leaves. This one I think was the best looking one of all 3 of them until the bunny got a hold of it. But I think this blue color will look really good in here. right. We'll see how that goes. Now let's get the Queen Josephines planted. See what we think. Yeah. I like it. I'd love to get something, actually a blue. Oh, you know what? I think I'm changing my mind. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna change my mind. I like this in here. I just had an idea. Okay. So I want to make a path that kind of goes this way and goes like maybe behind or in between my Hosta and my Invincible or Incredible, sorry, the hydrangea, and make a path that kind of goes down back behind my shed that leads to a garden that doesn't exist yet that I want to work on. But in the meantime, I need to move. I've got these Brunnera here that are struggling anyway. I think they got eaten by slugs maybe. This is the first time I've really seen slugs in my garden this year, so next year I'll probably have to treat for it. It's fine for now, but I have to move. Basically, if I want to extend my path, I gotta move like this chunk of plants because I want my path to go right through there. So I was thinking maybe that Brunnera would look good under there instead, and it would kind of carry. So they're different kinds. That's a Jack of Diamonds, or that's a King of Diamonds, and these are Jack Frost. But they don't get as big as that one, so maybe I could move those 3 and put them in there. So I think that's what I'm gonna do instead. This Jack Frost Brunnera is probably my least favorite Brunnera. I like it. I just like the Jack of Diamonds and the Queen of Hearts a lot better. And then I also like the just plain old variegated Brunnera. That one's probably my favorite, the variegated one. And then the Looking Glass one I really like too. But I have noticed this year these Jack Frosts just didn't look the greatest. I've got some up there too in a little, what I call the rainbow bed, and they didn't really look very great this year either. So, I don't know. I'm not too happy with them, but like I said, this is the first year that they looked like that. Normally they look pretty decent. I think these will do better here. It's a lot more moisture in the ground. These looked really good in the spring when they first came out. They're beautiful, and then like I said, just like a month ago they started being like really gross looking, so I don't know, we'll see how they do. So we kind of kept that bluish color in there, which I really like, plus there's some variegated texture going on in that area, and we opened up this area a little bit for me wanting to do a path. I do have that Jack Frost Brunnera right there I could move. There's a little volunteer hosta I could move, but maybe we'll keep this how it is, and I'll find a spot for that stained glass hosta. I might even split it actually and put it somewhere else because I already have these down here, and we'll work on a path for that later. So now I gotta find a new spot for these Queen Josephines, which should be pretty easy because like I said, they only got 6 to 10 inches tall and wide. I'm looking at this little area right here, and I normally put patches of impatiens in here, which I did. The bunnies ate them all, and some of them came back, you can see, but it might be nice to put hosta in there, little hostas. So but I would need to split them because I would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I might do that. So we will split these 3 hosta into 5. Okay, these all kind of look about the same size, so I'm gonna just split 2 of them into 2, and then I'll have 5, and try to get like an obvious division in here. Sometimes it doesn't always work, but I want to make sure I cut it, you know, as smart as possible. Sometimes I stick it in and then kind of like a watermelon, and then spread it apart. Alright, so there's 2. And then this one looks like it kind of has a more obvious division. If I would have known I needed 5, or you know where I was going to plant them, I would have just bought 5 because they were so cheap. But I don't know, I could go back and look, but at this point it's probably pretty picked over. I got these about a month ago. Okay, so now this one, let's see here. That's a pretty obvious division right there, but it's small. Just be really careful. Alright, that worked alright. There, so I got 5. And then 5. Get these planted. We'll have to plant around the impatiens that did survive the bunny attack. So it might look a little strange, but those are annuals that will die here in a couple months or sooner. So we're planting for long term right here. This one looks really good, this impatient. Okay, got some Virginia creeper right there. Pull that out, and then looks like right here is about halfway, so Lots of worms. You don't need to go fishing, you know where to get bait. Raccoon Alley. Right here. This one looks really good, this impatient. I don't feel bad digging, but we'll find a spot right in the middle of it. That'll be nice. I like it. Kind of brightens it up around there. Makes the boxwood stand out a little bit better, and I can still put impatiens in there. I could just put them, kind of plop them around the hosta for next year. Okay, we're getting there. These ones are pretty dry, so I need to get water on these for sure. There, I usually leave a tag in until I can memorize what everything is. That's about it for today. We ended up planting some Queen Josephine. We had 3 plants and made them into 5. And then we transplanted the Jack Frost Brunnera that was over there that needed to be moved anyway so I could make my path, and we put it right here. And then right there we moved the blueberry muffin blue hosta and put them down in that area, so I think they'll do really well up there. And then up in that area where my bleeding hearts go dormant, we added the before Christmas hosta. So I think we got a lot of good things done, and some different color and texture and variegation in some different areas that needed it. And then we also began to clear the area out from my path. So yeah, so pretty excited with what we did. I do have more plants I gotta get in the ground. I'm kind of dragging my feet on those, is it the plum pudding heuchera, or I think it's the plum pudding heuchera I got down there, I can't remember, but they're like a maroonish color, and I might use them in containers for fall. So I'm kind of dragging my feet on those because I thought they might look pretty in fall containers. So we might plant those in the garden this year, or we might put them in a planter. I don't know. We'll see. Then I also have some hens and chicks that I got to get planted. Those I also got for kind of 75% off. And then I have some Cranesville geranium down there as well. So I'm sure we'll be back planting a bunch more stuff. But until then, I hope that you guys just have a really awesome day today, or night, evening, morning, whatever it is for you. I really appreciate you watching this. It's very nice of you. There's lots of other things you could be doing, but you decided to poke on my movie and hang out with me in the garden, and if you're still watching, that's pretty cool too. So I appreciate it, and I really hope to see you the next time around. Until then, bye.